preparing for this one, whether they're in the state of Texas or in Washington. Everybody seems, we'll know a lot more tomorrow and the day after, did seem to learn a lesson. In any case, best estimates show that Rita will strike land early Saturday morning, sometime after midnight Eastern time.
All right, here we are, September 22nd, 2005, and this is one night before the hurricane, and we're hoping for the best, but we don't know what will happen.
Yeah, what he said. Hurricane force winds will be felt up to 60 miles from Katrina's center, and tropical storm winds up to 200 miles away. Best estimates are very bad news for a city like Beaumont, Texas, which is
got the kitties over here. Got Bart, Hurricane Bart, who is ready.
How many minutes you have left on it?
Yeah.
How many do you have left?
180. And we have Hurricane Homer, who is all ready. He picked up a case of beer on the way home. Bart's got his margarita machine, and I got the backup generator, and we are ready. Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Hurricane Rita 05. I am your host Ryan, and I will be accompanying you on this documentary of, well, what I assume to be chaos in Houston, but we will know more tomorrow and the day after. So I guess I will show you a little bit of this movie. And cut.
And really many of them not getting anywhere at all. For another view on the tough time getting out, we go down to CNN's Gary Tuchman, who is now in Port Arthur, Texas. Gary, what's it look like there?
Well, Anderson, the winds are starting to pick up, but this is nothing yet because the worst, of course, is still to come. This is a town with a bullseye in its back. It's an oil town that's about to become a major hurricane town. Port Arthur, Texas, right near
I don't get to
Louisiana
introduce
border.
myself.
People try to get out of Texas and try to head east. It was a nightmare. We were other people, and they were.
I'm Evan, and I will be here freaking the fuck out.
I have to edit that.
And was picking up in the southwestern portion of the state a little bit, but then they got to that bottleneck, and it was a real difficult situation. Now, we saw the reverse 3 weeks ago. People were heading from New Orleans to the west, trying to get away from that hurricane, so it's really been a nightmare for the state of Louisiana. A lot of those people are hoping that come Saturday or Sunday, they can come back here to Port Arthur and other places near here in Texas. But of course, as we've learned, there are no guarantees. Carrying back to you.
And most importantly, special appearances by Hurricane Bart and Hurricane Homer, who will be joining us for a commentary later on.
We really think so. There's a very large warm eddy in the Central Gulf that is about to pass over tonight, and that means not just warm water on the surface, but it's very deep warm water. So that combined with the favorable uplevel environment, we really think we could see some strengthening here. As it gets close to the coast, there are some reasons to make it think that we can...
Basically, right now there is a 50-50 chance that this thing could either slam straight into Houston or veer off towards Louisiana. But right now it's a little hard to determine which way it's going to go, and the news reports can't seem to get it straight. So I guess all we can do is wait for it tomorrow and find out what happens. I hope.
There's another
Could it translate into a pretty bad storm surge?
It will, and the greatest potential for a large loss of life is in that storm surge. But you really want to make that absolutely clear to everyone. And there's been a lot of focus there, as there should be, on Houston and Galveston. But we don't want to forget Beaumont, Port Arthur, and even over into Cameron and Lake Charles.
Yeah, as you've got it tracking right now, it looks like they may end up at the dirty side of the hurricane, and that seems to get a lot of attention. But even the areas to the west or to the left of where that storm track could still have very strong winds.
Oh, absolutely. And even if the center moves in a little bit to the northeast of Galveston Island, I mean, they're going to have, the Villamar Peninsula and High Island, they'll have tremendous storm surge there, as will portions of Galveston, but the bay itself, some of the water may be pushed out of the bay. But again, just a little wobble there to the west, and the highest storm.
No telling where this thing's going to go.
And you bring up a very good point.
The 10:30 hour programming note, we are going to have another call-in segment. If you have any questions for Dr. Neal, starting at 11 o'clock for an hour, you will be able to call in and ask Dr. Neal his opinion on what
Basically since Tuesday night, people have been stuck on the roadway. There's no gas anywhere in Houston. And as soon as most stations will be refueled is maybe next Tuesday at the earliest. But basically every freeway out of Houston is bumper to bumper. People are running out of gas and people are on the side of the road. As far as I know, a few people have already died from dehydration. And there's just a lot of people stranded, and it's crazy. Every freeway, it's backed up.
Going up along I-45, the Red Cross has opened up shelters where people can stop off. They're in the Woodlands and a number of other places, and try to at least get a night's sleep before they continue on. If you're stranded, you don't want to call 911. It's taxing the system. Texas Roadside Assistance is coming out.
This is I-45 north.
800-525-5555 for those who are listening to us on simulcast at 95.7 on TIC FM, on Tilt, and also on KRBE 104.1.
And if you are trying to find one of those shelters that the Red Cross has opened recently, this is really unprecedented for the Red Cross to open shelters that are in the way of getting some storm effects. But the Red Cross realized that with all these people on the roads, they needed to get them off of the roads, at least for the evening, and into some kind of shelter. And they may stay there through the storm, or they may choose to continue on tomorrow. But the number to call, again, if you're listening to us, to find...
It's 10:30 right now. Ask Frank is coming up in just a few seconds. We want to give you that telephone number. It is 713-271-1905. Chief Meteorologist Frank Billingsley here, along with Houston Mayor Bill White, to answer your questions.
And we're honored to have Mayor White, who is as exhausted as anybody, with us. Thanks for coming in, first of all. Let's just get right to it. We have Ricky Carter on the telephone.
Sure.
Ricky, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
What's your question, sir?
My question is, it's going right, you know, it's starting to head northeast, more to Beaumont, and I'm wondering, I mean, you know, we're on the back side, you know, the right side of the storm.
Right.
Should we evacuate, like, if we leave in the morning at 6 and go up 288, which I got a clear path, and I got my brother's house over on that Fuquay over there that I can go to? That's the earliest part. What do you think about
than what you saw earlier, because as the possible landfall point of the storm changed.
That's Houston, Texas tonight, the interstate. All 8 lanes, as I remember the interstate in Houston, all 8 lanes moving in one direction out of town to the north. People there evacuating people from the coastal cities coming through Houston, which probably wasn't the greatest move in the world either. But they're all caught up in traffic that's moving a mile or 2 or 3 an hour, trying to get to friends or relatives, trying to get out of town before the storm hits about 24 hours from now. Tide's already 2 feet above normal in New Orleans. The storm surges predicted to get us to about 5 feet or so. Several inches of rain on the city and on the levee system that failed just a few weeks ago. It will be tested yet again. Here's CNN's Adora Udoshi.
As dark clouds move in, this is it, the last best line of defense for St. Bernard Parish, where floods...
Here I am. Take 2. Here I am. It's Thursday, September 22nd, 2005, about 10:30 p.m. And basically, Hurricane Rita is coming towards Houston. For sure it's going to hit Galveston, and it may veer somewhat towards Louisiana. It's kind of unclear right now what's going to happen, but from trying to get out of town, the roadways are way too backed up to do anything. So I'm going to have to ride this one out, and we're going to see what happens. And basically, I'll show you real quick. Got the apartment over here. Got the TV on, of course. Got all my stuff put up high. Trying to keep everything off the floor. Unplug all the electronics. Mainly get everything cleaned up out of the bedroom and just hope for the best. And basically what I'm hoping to do over these next few days is, since I will be here in Houston, to ride out the storm, basically just try and see what I can find, see if there's any destruction. Hopefully everything holds up, but from what they're saying, there's going to be 140 mile an hour winds, and it's going to be crazy, so who knows what we'll get. Hopefully everything will be okay, but you just never know. So armed with a camera, here I go. Well, after after a long day of driving in traffic for 5 hours, having my battery die, and not being able to find gas anywhere, I will now be stuck here in Houston. So this is the end of day one, and tomorrow the thing's supposed to hit in the evening, so we're going to see what happens. Alright, well, here we go. Day 3. Let's check out these wings in action. Say something cute.
Here I am, like I promised, freaking the fuck out.
Maybe a little something exciting.